Welcome to another video. Today we will discuss general information about studying in Canada. This includes applying for study permit, benefits of studying in Canada, the requirements and documents that need to submit. I will also show you how to submit application, including creating an MyCIC account. We will also go over the step-by-step process of applying for study permit, and we'll answer some frequently asked questions. Lastly, we will discuss who will be eligible to study in Canada without the need of a study permit.
Vancouver Tower, good afternoon. 112, Farnham Approach.
Okay, 116 Sunny, Vancouver Tower, with 106 to 1 runway 26 straight.
International student may be issued a study permit if they meet the basic criteria applicable to all temporary resident applicants, as well as the criteria specific to students. There are two types of study permit, a regular study permit and a study permit under the Student Direct Stream or SDS. Before looking at the requirements, let's first see the benefits of studying in Canada. Number 1, as an international student in Canada, you can bring your family members such as your spouse or dependent children to study and or work in Canada. Number 2, after your graduation, you may be granted permission to work in Canada. This means when you are holding a study permit and you are about to graduate from a post-secondary institution, you may apply for the postgraduate work permit. Under this program, you are exempt from the requirement of obtaining a Labor Market Impact Assessment or LMIA. This means you will get an open work permit that enable you to seek and accept employment to work for any employer for a specific period of time. Number 3, closer to becoming a permanent resident of Canada. Because of the work experience you acquire, you will be eligible in one of the Canada's permanent immigration program in the express entry, such as the Federal Skilled Worker, Canadian Experience Class, and Provincial Nominee Program. Number 4, work while you study. International student in Canada can work up to 20 hours per week during regular school terms or semester. During scheduled breaks in the school year, you can work full-time, such as in winter and summer holidays or a fall or spring reading week. Full-time work means no hour limits. You can also work as many hours as you want if you work on campus. Working on campus means working within the confines of the school. It can be any employer such as McDonald's, Tim Hortons, and other businesses as long as they are in the school boundaries. To be eligible for employment on campus, you must be registered as a full-time student at a public university, community college, or private institution authorized by the provincial government. You're holding a valid study permit and will work on campus at the institution where you are registered, whether for institution itself or private business inside the campus. You can also apply for co-op work permit for free, as long as the work is required for your degree. Usually, the immigration officer at the border will give you the co-op work permit at the same time with your study permit if your letter of acceptance has indicated that you may have internship work components in your study program. The co-op work permits will expire as your student permit regardless of the duration of your internship. Internship, field placement, and practicum, all these terms refer to a co-op work. Remember, co-op work permit can only be used for employment required for completing your degree. It must be recognized by your institution. Number 5, free healthcare. If you are holding a valid study permit in Canada, you are eligible for the healthcare, including your family member who come with you in Canada. Some conditions vary by province or territory. Now let's see the basic requirements. Like I mentioned, there are two types of study permit application, the regular study permit and the study permit under the Student Direct Stream. In the regular student permit, the basic requirements are letter of acceptance from the educational institution listed as designated learning institution where you intend to study. You can find the list of designated learning institution or DLI in the IRCC website, the link in the description below. The document that you need for this requirement is the letter from your school confirming your enrollment. Be able to pay the tuition fees for the course or program that you intend to pursue. Document needed: bank statement showing the amount of available funds, or if paid, the receipt or document that proves you paid the tuition. In the regular student permit application, paying your tuition fee ahead is optional or depends on your school if they are issuing letter of acceptance without paying ahead. However, you must still prove that you have the money available to pay. If you intend to pay your tuition fee before submitting your application, you must confirm with your institution how you will be refunded in the event that your application is refused. Be able to sustain yourself financially and those members of your family who will be with you during the study period. The documents needed are your bank statement for the last 4 months, a bank draft that can be converted in Canadian dollars, a letter from a person or school giving you money, or proof of funding paid from within Canada if you have a scholarship or are in a Canadian-funded educational program. Be able to cover the transportation cost for you and any family member to and from Canada. Pass the IRCC medical examination, and if you'd like to study in the province of Quebec, you need a Quebec Certificate of Acceptance or CAQ. And now for the Student Direct Stream or SDS. The Student Direct Stream is the fastest way to obtain study permit in terms of processing, but you must be a resident in one of the listed countries. The countries on the list are Antigua and Barbuda, Brazil, China, Colombia, Costa Rica, India, Morocco, Pakistan, Peru, Philippines, Senegal, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, and Vietnam. The basic requirements for the Student Direct Stream are: have an acceptance letter from a post-secondary designated learning institution, live outside of Canada when you apply, have proof that you have paid your tuition fee for the first year of study, have a guaranteed investment certificate of 10,000 Canadian dollar. The following banks in Canada that offer guaranteed investment accounts are Bank of Beijing, Bank of China, Bank of Montreal, Bank of Shin, Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, Desjardins, Habib Canadian Bank, HSBC Bank of Canada, ICC Bank, Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, RBC, SBI Canada Bank, Scotiabank, Simply Financial, and TD Canada Trust. You also need a Quebec Certificate of Acceptance if you are planning to study in the province of Quebec. Get a medical examination and police certificate before you apply if you need one. Your most recent secondary or post-secondary school transcript. Have a language test result that shows either an International English Language Testing System or IELTS in academic or general training, a score of 6.0 or higher in its skill, reading, writing, speaking, and listening, or in French language evaluation or TEF, score that is equal to Canadian language benchmark of at least 7 in each skill, reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Some institutions also require an English test, so if you are planning to take IELTS, confirm with your institution whether they require academic or general training examination. Additional requirement for both regular and SDS application, you need to submit a letter of explanation or a statement of purpose. Although it is an optional requirement, this will help strengthen your application because this letter is intended to provide the immigration officer with an overview of your plans, intention, and reason for deciding to study in Canada. You must also include in your statement that you understand your responsibilities as a student along with the condition involved in your study permit. Now let's compare the two types of study permit in terms of eligibility requirements. Both of them require an acceptance letter from institution in Canada. In the SDS, you can only apply if you live outside of Canada. In terms of tuition fee, the regular study permits only require you to show proof that you can able to pay tuition fee and sustain yourself and family member financially. In contrast, the SDS required you to pay 1-year tuition and deposit a guaranteed investment before submitting your application. Medical examination and police clearance are also required in both applications, required promptly for SDS, while for regular application, you will only submit when they required if you need one. For language test requirements, it is mandatory for the SDS application and achieve at least CLB7 level in each component, while it is optional for the regular permit as long as your institution do not require it. Both needs a Quebec Certificate of Acceptance if planning to study in the province of Quebec. Compared to the regular study permit application, the student direct stream has higher approval rate and a faster processing time, because some of the factors that the officer determines have been addressed by the eligibility requirements in the SDS. For example, your ability to pay your tuition fee and support yourself during your stay was established because you already paid your tuition fee and have a guaranteed investment certificate. And since you provided a language test result and passed the required marks, your adaptability in terms of language is no longer in question. How much money needed to study in Canada? The amount you will need will be determined by the course you will take and the number of family members you will bring with you. This will be the total amount of tuition fees plus living expenses for a year, as per IRCC guidelines for international students outside of Quebec. If you are alone, you need $10,000 to cover your expenses plus your tuition fee in a year. So if your tuition fee, let's say it's 10,000 Canadian dollar, you need at least $20,000. If you have one accompanying family member, you will add $4,000. And if you have dependent children, add $3,000 for every additional accompanying family member. So if the three of you will come to Canada, you need at least $17,000 plus the tuition fee. If the tuition fee is $10,000, you need at least $27,000 Canadian if you will study in any province other than Quebec. There is a slight difference if you intend to live or study in the province of Quebec. If you are alone and under 18 years old, you need at least $6,569 per year for your expenses plus the tuition fee. For one person 18 years old or over, you need 13,134 Canadian dollar plus the tuition fee. If you have one accompanying family member, you will add $19,264 on the top of the tuition fee. For two accompanying family members with one under 18 years old, you need $21,579, and for two people 18 years old or over, including the applicant and two people under 18 years old, you need at least 23,290 Canadian dollar plus the tuition fee. The Postgraduate Work Permit Program, or Pgwpp, is an open work permit that enables students after graduation to work for any employer in Canada. It enables them to gain valuable work experience in Canada. The length of a work permit under Pgwpp is same as the student's studies length, or maximum of 3 years. For example, if a student graduates from a 4-year degree program, the international student will be eligible for a 3-year open work permit. And if the student graduates from a 8-month program, they will be eligible for a work permit no more than 8 months. The postgraduate work permit is only once in a lifetime, and it's not extendable. This means once your postgraduate work permit expires, you won't be able to obtain another one even if you will study again. When applying for the Pgwpp permit, you need to apply within 180 days from inside or outside Canada. The 180 days starts from the date you complete your study. When you are applying inside Canada, you need to have a valid study permit. If from outside Canada, for example, you went back home after your study, you still can apply as long as it is within the 180 days. For tips for a positive decision, number 1, provide sufficient documentation to establish that you meet the requirements and will satisfy the immigration officer that you will comply with conditions. Number 2, anticipate officer's concern. For example, if there has been refusal or has been previously not complied, or for non-compliance based on historical data. Number 3, ensure that the application has been completed in full and has no errors or omissions, such as including all the information as listed on the IRCC checklist and instruction guide. If you are looking for specific tips on how to avoid application being denied, please check this video afterwards. Remember, although international students are allowed to work in Canada, you need to satisfy the immigration officer that you are financially capable to pay your tuition fees, travel costs to and from Canada, including your living expenses for you and for your accompanying family members for a year without the need to engage in employment. When you arrive in Canada and want to engage in employment, you need to get a Social Insurance Number or SIN from Service Canada. IRCC is different from Service Canada. You need the SIN for taxation purposes. It is required when earning income. It is also required by employers and when opening a bank account in Canada. You can go to the Service Canada office right away when you get your study permit from the border. In my knowledge, the only airport with a Service Canada office is the Toronto Pearson International Airport. However, SIN can be obtained in any Service Canada location and they are available throughout the province or city. You just need to show your identification and study permit that has a remark that you can work in Canada. If the immigration officer at the border prints you a study permit without saying that you can work, you can respectfully ask the officer at the border if they can add a note about your working conditions. The following group of persons do not require a study permit to go to school in Canada. Number 1, person who wishes to study in a short-term course or program. You do not need a study permit if you plan to take a course or program in Canada that lasts 6 months or less, but you must complete the course or program within the period authorized for your stay. But even if you do not need a study permit, it may be a good idea to apply for a permit before entering Canada, because if you decide that you want to continue your studies in another program after you complete your short-term course, you must apply through the Canadian Visa Office outside Canada for a study permit if you do not have. Number 2, foreign representatives to Canada. A family member or staff member of a foreign representative to Canada accredited by Foreign Affairs and International Trade Canada may not need a permit to study in Canada. Their embassy can contact the Office of Protocol at Foreign Affairs and International Trade Canada to find out whether they need a study permit. Members of the Foreign Armed Forces. A member of a foreign armed forces under the Visiting Forces Act does not need a permit to study in Canada. However, their family members, including minor children who want to study in Canada, must meet the requirements. Minor children. Those minor children in Canada whose parents are authorized to study or work in Canada do not require a study permit to attend preschool, primary, or secondary level. These include minor children of a refugee claimants, but it doesn't include minor children of a person who are in Canada as visitors. Note that this exemption do not apply when the minor child is applying for a visa outside of Canada, whether or not they are accompanying a parent who will be working or studying in Canada. It only applies to a minor child who is already in Canada. In order to submit application online, you need to create an IRCC account, whether for a regular study permit or under the Student Direct Stream or SDS. An IRCC account can be used to submit application not only for study permit. It can also use to submit application for visitor, work, and other applications such as Express Entry and International Experience Canada or IEC. In the future, you can apply with the same account for other applications. To create an IRCC account, go to cic.gc.ca. Scroll down and click the Sign In or Create an Account. There are two ways to register or to create an account, one with GC Key and the other one is by Sign-In Partner. With a Sign-In Partner, you need to have an online banking account in Canada and use the same information to sign in. And these are the participating banks. If you do not have an online account with those banks, just select Register with GC Key. Click Sign Up. Read the terms and condition of use. Click Accept. In this page, you can type your desired username, but make sure you follow these conditions. For the purpose of this tutorial, I will use random words. Click Continue. Create your password. In this page, you need to create your recovery questions. The recovery question can be used in case you forgot your sign-in information, like your username and password. After you type your recovery question, click Continue. And in this screen, it confirms that the GC Key sign-up is complete. And it shows your username. Then click Continue. Read the terms and conditions, then click I accept. And in this page, you need to write down your name, last name, email address, and your preferred language, whether English or French. Then click Continue. And the account is finished. This is actually the home page of the My CIC account. You can see all your submitted application here, your pending application, and also the status of the application if you already submitted. It is also in this page where you can start to apply for a new application by clicking the Apply to Come to Canada. In this page, you will choose what kind of application you're gonna submit. whether for visitor, work, express entry, or the International Experience Canada. If you have a reference number, you can put your reference number here. But in our case, we don't have. In our case, because we are applying for study permit, we will choose the option for visitor visa, study, and or work permit. In this page, we need to answer all of these questions by choosing from the drop-down menus to find out if we are eligible to apply. The first question is, what would you like to do in Canada? We are applying for study permit, so we will choose study. The second question, how long are you planning to stay in Canada? This depends on the length of your study. Let's assume that it is more than 6 months, so we will choose temporarily more than 6 months. Third question, select the code that matches the one on your passport. This is your country of citizenship. The fourth question is, what is your current country, territory, or residence? If you are presently in Canada, you should select Canada. The next question, do you have a family member who is Canadian citizen or permanent resident and is 18 years old or older? Let's just put no. The last question is, what is your date of birth? So you will choose your year, month, and day from the drop-down menus. Then click next. Are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States with valid U.S. citizenship and immigration services number? I will put no. And click next. Have you been accepted to a designated learning institution? I'll put yes. Then next. Have you visited or lived in any of the designated countries for 6 consecutive months in the last year? You need to click this to see the designated countries and check if you visited one of those countries. If yes, you put yes. If no, you put no. Then next. Have you had a medical exam performed by IRCC authorized panel of physicians within the last 12 months? If yes, you put yes. If no, you put no. Then click next. What is your marital status? What is your province of destination? You will choose the province where your school is located. Then click next. And the result shows you may be eligible to come to Canada as a student. Click continue. And in this page, we need to create our personal checklist for study permit. On the next page, they will ask us a few more questions, and based on our answer, they will provide us a personal checklist of all the documents we need to submit our application. Click continue. Question is, do you have a valid work permit or study permit and need a visa to return to Canada? I will answer no. You will answer yes here if you have already a study permit or work permit and you just need a visa to return to Canada. Next question, are you an exchange student? No. Is work an essential component of your studies? You will answer yes if you have a work components in your studies. You need to click yes for you to be eligible to apply for a co-op work permit. Are you a spouse, common law partner, or child of a certain skilled worker or of certain full-time international student that has or will have status in Canada? Are you a recipient of a Commonwealth or a scholarship or a participant in Canadian aid program for developing countries? I will choose no. Are you accompanying a family member that has a status in Canada or has recently been approved to come to Canada? I'll choose no. Have you ever been committed, been arrested for, been charged with, or convicted of any criminal offense in any country? I'll choose no. Do you want to submit an application for a family member? If you are submitting an application for your family member, for example, for your spouse or dependent children, you choose yes. Are you giving someone access to your application? You choose yes if you have a representative. You choose no if you are applying by yourself. In the past 10 years, have you given your fingerprints and photo or biometrics for an application to come to Canada? Yes if yes, no if no. There are fees associated with this application. Will you be paying your fees? I will choose yes. Are you able to make a digital copy of your documents with a scanner? I will choose yes. If you choose no in this question, they will ask you to apply through paper application. Will you be paying your application fees online? Through a credit card, I will choose yes. In this page, we need to review our answers. If you see all correct, click continue. Now submitting application. In this page, it will show the step-by-step process of the application. Step 1, use your account. Step 2, save your application. Step 3, uploading documents. And the last step will be paying fees. And these are the documents and forms that we need to fill out, upload, and submit to complete the study permit application. To sign in, go to cic.gc.ca. You can sign in using GC key or sign in partner depending on which account is associated with yours. Then type your username and password, click sign in. Welcome page will appear, click continue, read the terms and conditions, then click accept, then answer the security question. Now in this page you can view your submitted application and pending application that needs to continue. In our case, we will continue the application. The last step of the online application submission process is paying your application fee. When your payment is approved, after providing your credit card information, your application will automatically be submitted. But in this page right now, we are going to upload all the documents needed. In this step, we assume that we filled out all the forms needed, such as the IMM 1294, family information, or the IMM 5645, and the Schedule 1, which is the IMM 5257. Those are the 3 application forms that needs to be filled out. The rest are the required documents that you need to scan and upload, like the letter of acceptance from your school, photo of your passport, proof of means of financial support, digital photo, and the client information, which is your letter of explanation or statement of purpose. Now let's upload. Let's start with the first one, the IMM 1294. Click upload file, then choose file. As you notice here, all the documents that we need to upload are placed in one folder and named accordingly so that it will be easy in terms of locating them. So we are looking for the IMM 1294, select the file and click open, then upload file, and it says successfully uploaded. Click return to your documents. Next is the letter of acceptance. Same procedure. Choose file, click the right file, then open and upload file. Then the passport, upload file, choose file. Next documents, same procedure. As you notice, all the fields are green, means all the files are uploaded. In case you want to change the file that you uploaded, just click Update Information, choose File again, then Upload. It will automatically override or change the file that you upload the first time. So the next step is paying fees. If you are not ready to pay your fee at this time, you can click Exit and any files that you uploaded will be saved. Whenever you are ready to make the payment, just sign into your account and you can proceed to the payment portion. Let's assume that we are ready to pay. Summary of fee, 235 Canadian dollar, 150 for the study permit, and $85 for the biometrics. Read the notice regarding personal information. Your declaration to confirm that all information that you provided are true and correct, and misrepresentation is an offense under the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, that's the law. And if you found guilty of misrepresenting yourself or you lied in your application, you will be inadmissible to Canada or you will be removed from Canada. When you type your information here, it is considered that you have signed this application. Click the Agree, type your first and last name, and answer your security question. Then click Sign. Review the information, click Transmit and Pay. Summary of fees, click Transmit and Pay again. Then here comes the checkout where you need to provide your credit card details. You can use Visa, MasterCard, American Express, JCB, or prepaid credit card. It doesn't have to be your credit card. You can use others' credit card with their permission, of course, in case you don't have one. Because this is just a tutorial, that's how far I can go with this process. After you provide all your credit card information, you can click Checkout. If the transaction has gone through or has been approved, your application will be submitted and a receipt will appear where you can print or save. This is the end of this video. I hope you learned how to upload your file to your CIC account and how to pay your application fees online. Good luck with your application and thanks for watching.